Hello and welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining Athletic Business and Hussey Seating for today's webinar. Today, our speaker is Ron Bilodeau, and in this presentation, you'll learn the history of Hussey's innovative roots, the trends in today's high school, college, and pro facilities, and the engineered solutions that go into every Hussey product. Ron will get into the specifics of maximizing comfort, fan experience, and capacity in any facility. Our audience is also welcome to ask questions, so please put those in the Q&A box on your screen. Take it away, Ron.
Thank you, Audrey. Again, my name is Ron Bilodeau from Hussey Seating, here to talk to you about the essentials for picking the right seating partner. And first, we'll start off just hitting on a little bit of history. Hussey Seating is in our 7th generation owner and management, founded in 1835 by William Hussey. William was a young farmer here in Maine, unhappy with the way the plow worked that basically was used here in the New England area for farming, and decided to create an innovative solution for a better plow. That's how we came about getting into business, by someone listening to his own thoughts as a farmer, as well as local farmers, as what they found was not a good product in the marketplace. Here's some images on the right here. You can see this used to be an old wooden base with sheet steel applied to the plow face, and it was always being damaged by the rocky soil here in New England. So basically, William created this cast component within the ground, and then this is what really our claim to fame and how we came about by creating an innovative solution, listening to our customers way back in 1835. Ever since then, we've always listened to our customers, and I would say that because our goal currently is to have customers for life. And we're basing this off of past history and how we were able to live through 7 generations of ownership and management and keep the company rolling forward based on customer requests. We'll talk specifically about seating here. In 1931, you can see we got in the outdoor grandstand business, as well as later in that year, we actually did our first indoor job, which was a grandstand for Portland Boys Club here in Portland, Maine. 1952, we entered into the telescopic bleacher market. At that time, there were 13 competitors in the marketplace. One would think it might not have been a smart business decision, but yet you can see the gentlemen that are pushing in the seating, and you can see that it's a closed deck design. So basically, it took the foot panel and closed it off, so not allowing any debris, small children's jackets, coats, bags, whatever, fall down under the system. It sounds simple, but yet that was a very large step forward in the innovation of telescopic bleacher seating. 1953, we're approached by Pittsburgh, or the Igloo in Pittsburgh, for the Pittsburgh Penguins, one of the original 6 teams in the NHL. And basically, they wanted a telescopic platform with an integral chair. We didn't have a chair, so we had to partner up and find an alliance to use someone's chair on our system. That worked, and we created the world's first telescopic platform with an integral chair on the solution. 1972, we decided to get into our own chair manufacturing and created what was called as the Sentinel chair. And this was a full range of product offerings, again, based on the market segments we were in, sports, education, meaning gymnasiums and auditoriums, but really heavily focused on the sports side, as well as convention centers, which was a full range of seating in our Sentinel chair range. 1980, we purchased a company called Ideal Seating, and that was really targeted to go after the sports market, sports and cinema market back in that time. So in 1980, we purchased a 1960 design product just to get us in the marketplace. And it did what it was supposed to do back then, and really gave us a foot forward in the market, creating upholstered chairs. And we relocated that from Grand Rapids, Michigan, back here to Maine. In 1985, we did our first large installation at Joe Roby Stadium for Miami Dolphins. This was with our Olympiad chair. This was, again, a great accomplishment for us, 1985, to have a stadium chair, and again, to have this as I would say our first job, but it wasn't our first. Our first job was actually in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, for 63,000 of them in the same year. So we're familiar with doing large jobs as well as small jobs, and we've had great success over the years. 1999, we took a hard look at telescopic seating and basically redefined what was already our primary product and our leading product in the marketplace, as well as for us internally for revenue and volume. And we recreated it and basically called it the Maxim, and integrated a bunch of innovative solutions in that product offering. 2002, we then followed up with an improvement to our chair line that we purchased in 1980 and launched the Quattro chair family, which is a great range of seating that covers everything from sports to education to performing arts and worship. So again, listening to customers, innovative designs. Like in 2002, we created what we called, looking at it as the Herman Miller of our marketplace, really refining the materials, the design, hide the hardware, things that not normally were done in our market space. So as a company, our vision is really to bring families together in communities to create lasting memories. If you think about what we do, what we're involved in, and what we're talking about, it's venues that people come together. Architects out there, HOK, Populous have done great things over the years with bring people together, where people gather. Or why people gather is one of the statements Populous did when they first came out with their website. And I'll close out with a statement to that. But yet ultimately, our mission is really to sustain our long, proud family heritage and business here. But ultimately, our focus right now is creating the best seating solutions and also, as I stated earlier, create customers for life. That's our goal. We do that by being a family business in it for the long run. There isn't a vision of moving out of the business, but just passing it on to the 8th generation. Our goal is do what William Hussey did, operate with honesty and integrity. And ultimately, we care about the people we work with, meaning our customers, you all out there from school officials, architects, general contractors, our dealer network, as well as our employees here at the company. So those are the core values that the company was founded on that we still work towards achieving every day. In this presentation, we'll take a quick look at our product portfolio, but then we'll spend more time looking at what's important to creating or picking the right seating partner. Looking at athletic venues market, look at customers, different venues types within it, the sports and activities that occur in them, program requirements. And again, this is part of understanding if you are working with the right seating partner. If people aren't asking you these questions or digging into this type of information before they present product ideas to you, they're out there just selling product and not truly selling a solution that meets your need and your desires. We'll talk briefly about decision matrix and how they change based on the market and the customer base and what drives a decision based on products. Then we'll take a look at trends and venues. And I'll say some of them are our products, other ones are futuristic products that are out there in the marketplace that really haven't been heavily adopted yet, but are going to be definitely in the marketplace in the not too distant future in every venue that we go to. We'll take a look and just do a quick overview of the seating solution process. What is used, or what should you be able to use for success no matter who you work with in dealing with seating? So we'll take a look at this in more detail as we go into the presentation. Then we'll close out some key features here is if you're a public or government agency, how you can leverage purchasing power and save time by using procurement contracts, as well as a new tool we have here is how you can do leasing programs with non-appropriated funds. And again, a way to really maximize your dollars available and get the most amount of product for what you have available on a yearly basis. So moving forward, I'll say what we leverage is our experience and knowledge. And that's experience and knowledge we gain from winning projects, as well as experience and knowledge we obtain when we lose projects. Again, we get to use a vast knowledge base of all the different experiences that we have with architects, general contractors, direct to customers through our dealer network. And really, we try our best to educate ourselves internally on projects that we win, as well as projects that we lose, and how can we best educate our customers to collaborate to get to the right solution for their individual, unique building. So it's simple. We start by listening. We observe, we ask a lot of questions. That's ultimately how we start. And again, stating that we're looking to create customers for life. At the end of the day, we want you to walk away with a venue that is easy to be, event ready, on time, every time. So people are able to go watch the events, not miss an opportunity for a memory or lifetime of stories. So let's jump into the presentation here. We'll take a quick look at our product portfolio. And again, this is all available on our product line, but we have a product called Maxim One. This is a tip and roll solution. This is a individual 15 or 12 seat module, depending on how you have it configured. It can be operated by tipped up and maneuvered by one person. And as you can see, you can use it in a very wide array of solutions. And later on, we'll talk specifically about this one here at Findlay University down here in the middle. Telescopic and fixed bleachers. Again, this is core to our business in the education, say K-12, college, university, as well as, I would say, telescopic platforms when we get to professional style venues, as well as collegiate venues. But there's different types from wall attached, reverse fold, portables, and then the one in the center here with the young lady operating it. This is called a traveling unit. So this unit here would have replaced 6 portable sections and now is operated as one entire bank of seating by simply pushing and steering this unit across. She maneuvers it across 2 courts on a field house that has a 3-court wide, and the game court is the 3rd court away. So it's able to really save a lot of time on the transition and conversions. And here again, I mentioned earlier on the right here, right lower corner, this is Maxim 1. But what I really want you to look at is the unit behind it. This had a customer had a request. They needed more locker room storage for the pro shop. So this is actually a beam girded system or fixed structure that we operated and made to make it look like a bleacher. So it looks exactly like a bleacher in the field house, but yet this is all open air span underneath and done with our bleacher components to, again, make it look like every other unit within the building. Just gave them the ability to meet their engineering need or their needs by our engineering capabilities and having that as a fixed bleacher system. Telescopic and fixed platforms. Again, typically when you hear the term platform, this has a deeper row spacing and has the ability to have either backrest or chairs that fold within the system itself and allow it to telescope close. As you can see here in the top left corner, you can see there's a unit showing all the chairs in the closed position, as well as the lower inset and the fully open position. So ultimately with telescopics, one of the key features is you get to reclaim floor space. You get to make multi-use space of that valuable floor space or that you have in your venues. And then we'll talk as we move forward here, we'll get in, take a look at some of the seating options available on telescopics. And I know that this is a quick overview, but we're going to have these presentations available for you. And again, we're always here to have the conversation and understand what your needs are. So basically the one on the far left here, this is called a forward tilt. This is used on a low rise telescopic platform system. Normally you'll see this within a professional arena environment where you're going from NBA to NHL or from basketball to hockey configurations and trying to maximize that valuable floor space behind the nets. This other one here, we see the back is folded down onto the deck, the nose mount. This is used on a low rise application from 8 to 16-inch rise, and the back folds down, and then all the seats will stay nested in the front of the unit as it closes. The next one, riser mount forward fold. This is a fully upholstered chair that's used across entire arena facilities and is able to fold down and stow within the deck, similar to the units that we saw on the previous page. And then there's different versions of chairs, fully enveloped, padded chairs, upholstered chairs, polymer chairs. And then you get into some lower cost solutions that are nose mount upholstered or polymer seats called our Premier chair, a version called a club bench. So again, different seating needs for different style solutions. And ultimately this, as you make a selection on these seats, this here helps define what type of telescopic system you would have, a bleacher or a platform. There's 2 additional pages in here that give you, again, the min-max rise and min-max row spacing for the units. So again, this will be available to you to use as a reference and again, help guide conversations with the internal team or with customers or with us here at Hussey or our dealer or direct team. So telescopics, there's basic applications, wall attach, basically it mounts and attaches to a structured load-bearing wall. You have portable units, and this can be a bleacher or a platform that is just that. It's an individual unit that can be maneuvered around a building and reconfigured based on, depending on what your overall design considerations were. You have freestanding units. This would be done and applied to units that are not load bearing, or you're trying to create better sight lines to balconies below or proper egress to elevators, locker rooms, offices, whatever it may be. You have reverse fold units. This here, the front row, first row, I should say, stays isolated in its location, and then the rear row moves backwards into an open space. Typically, you see this used in balcony configurations where you can then you create a ample secondary auxiliary gym up above, as well as you see it used in large field houses to help subdivide the space where you don't need to use air curtains or air walls to divide the space. Recessed units, basically parks within a little garage within a wall structure. By the one that did it at this facility here, it allowed them to use their walking track or running track by not having the unit park on it, but yet park inbound of it. The next one in the bottom middle, this is that traveling unit we referenced early on. You can see where she moves the entire bank of seating as one unit, drives it all the way across the venue, and then they open it up and get it set for game time. So they used to do this with 6 individual sections and took them roughly 3 days to get it properly aligned and set for an event. Now they do it in just I'd say just over 2 hours to move it, open it, put rails on, put all the seats up in position, and be ready for action. So really saved a lot of venue time, valuable time. Next one, you can see the portable tip and roll. That was the Maxim one that we referenced earlier. Again, a nice addition to the product offering, a nice addition to any venue, meaning K-12, college, university. And again, people are using them different than we intended, which is great because we're learning every day of what the different potential venues are and how they do it, what opportunities are. So on telescopics, what I do want to hit on is safety. One of the things that we always have focused on since back to 1952, as I referenced earlier, is the understructure and the design. Our main features that we have is a lower captive interlock. So basically interlocking the 2 rows, one to another, to keep them from ever separating, as well as a captive upper interlock. That along with what we call a tier catch, or we call it a posi lock, but there's different terms in the marketplace. That helps transfer front to back sway load. And the only thing I would encourage you to do is if you are buying telescopics, make sure whatever system you buy has these 3 features at minimum. This is what prevents, what we believe prevents any catastrophic failures that it may have seen in the past. We're very proud of our safety record, as we're one of the only companies in North America that have never had a catastrophic failure. And it's not by accident. We go through a lot of testing, continuous improvements in design. And this area has been a staple in our design since 1952. Talk a bit about fixed seating. There's different types of seating, as you know, in the marketplace. This here, I have the term standards. So the standards are known by different terms: stanchions, standards, chair legs, depending on what you may have done in the past or who you may have worked with. But basically, this has been kind of the tried and true way of installing chairs over the years. And we have a full portfolio of products from wood veneer outer backs, polymer backs, soft side backs. So again, a full spectrum that can go from general seating to club seating to suites, team rooms, whatever it may be, a full spectrum of opportunities to meet your need. As well as we have seats that go floor mount, riser mount, slope floor applications. So basically we have you covered for your seating needs. As you may have read in the news, in an athletic business not that long ago, this next page that I'm going to show you here is Hussey Seating. We had the opportunity to acquire Chromatic Seating, and basically what we acquired was the name and product lines. So I'd say stay close to us, log into the website, keep track of it as we were releasing information as these products become available for sale and installation in the marketplace. But as you can see on the bottom of this, there's a rail that runs horizontally. What that allows us to do is gives you more flexibility on installation to avoid construction joints, chair spacing, the ability to change chair spacing over the years if you have different venues or different events and you're trying to create a different style of seating, whether maybe you have the Super Bowl or you have a collegiate event in-house. But as you can see, there's a wide array and an assortment of products that we'll be adding into the Hussey line. So again, just wanted to give you a quick snippet of this, but again, these products are not ready for sale as we're in the transition process. But if you do have questions on them, again, send us an email and we can keep you posted as we get information released out into the marketplace. So as we move forward here, I just want to talk about, this is getting into that whole engineered approach, and it all starts with the due diligence and design collaboration and insights. So the markets that I was looking at the registration list earlier, we had people from Park and Rec, K-12, college, university. Most of it is NCAA sports driven. I'm assuming there may be some club sports associated with some of them that have their own venues. So again, and the reason I kind of break it out this way, from juniors, semi-professional, professionals, there's different drivers in these markets, and whether that's funding, that's capacity, that's timeliness of when installs would occur. It's something that, it's part of our engineered solution, is what is not just providing a product to you, but what's the right product for that market segment. Customer wise, we deal with owners, reps, school officials, athletes, fans, communities, school boards, again, architects, designers, theater consultants that are tied into some of these projects, and general contractors. All have different needs, all represent the same outcome or want the same outcome, but yet there's different drivers that excite one customer base over another. Our goal is to really understand on the project who's driving, who's influencing, and to best leverage that information so that we're not wasting your time or our time in trying to get to the ultimate solution for your venue. The venues themselves, is it a practice space, competitive space, gymnasiums, natatoriums, arenas, stadiums? If it's stadiums, is it a field, court, tracks? What is it? Is it a team room? At the end of the day, other key considerations for us is it revenue generating? Because again, that means that there's the ability to do, whether we're using donor plates or other things within the venue to help create additional revenue or provide additional features, so then you can create additional revenue for your bottom line of running that building. Sports and activities, hockey, everything within a hockey dashboard, from curling to box lacrosse, soccer and football, basketball courts, volleyball, badminton. So what this is talking about is the configuration of seating around it. Is it telescopic? Is it fixed? What kind of space does it take up? What kind of space do we need? So that's why, again, in the due diligence, it's important to understand all these different considerations. It gets into where the team benches are, where their vomitories for player entrances, and whatever it may be. And we see this again within a gymnasium as well as an event center or an arena. So it's at times it may sound like overkill, but we think it's the right level of information to collect. What kind of program requirements is it? Single or multi-use, number of sports, number of conversions, what kind of events are going to occur? What kind of resources do you have to create the transition? So again, this is all part of that due diligence. Is it a new or renovation project? And it gets into the height restrictions, available space. Is it a venue that's going to be a renovation that's going to be done while your venue's open and not have not going dark on the schedule, so working between events? These are all things that we're able to do, but all things that work in the collaboration process to understand what's best and how do we best position that to get the right product and right process out there into the marketplace. And at the end of the day, what's really driving the decision? What are the drivers by market? Again, Park and Rec will have a different driver than a college, university, D1 school, than a professional venue out there in the marketplace that's going to have 200 events a year. So what our best goal would be is to understand really what's driving that, and it allows us to best position the right engineered solution in your marketplace. So what we've seen over the years is that small schools want to look like a large school. Large schools want to look like college universities. College universities want to look better than a competing college university and or the closest professional venues. And as we've seen in the news everywhere, professional venues want to be the best and the latest professional venue. They want to outdo everyone in the marketplace. The trends that we've seen over the years used to be maximize capacity, maximize capacity, maximize capacity. Now there's definitely a big shift on maximizing comfort and maximize the fan experience. So if we take a look here, we're going to take a look at some of the trends that we're seeing. This is in a gymnasium now, is these graphic packages of ways that you can create branding at a local level that excites the community, excites the school, excites the athletes. In the total package itself here, total graphics package, you can have everything from graphics at the end of the seat, graphics that are molded within the seat spaces themselves, You can see you have court signs, step signs, closure curtains from a safety thing as well as a branding thing. Something as simple as changing the hour rail color to match the architectural accents within the room. So this is a trend that we've seen happening over the years, and this is constantly going on now, and something, if you haven't considered it, I would recommend you considering this in your next opportunity you may have. Differentiated seating experience. This is at Findlay University that we spoke about earlier. So you can see here they have the middle section with orange has contoured backrests as well as little individual cup holders between the seat spaces. Gives you more personal space on your shoulder width. You can see, whoops, sorry about that. Forward. At the end of the court, you can see those maximum 1 units. So the school wanted to implement those in there, and they thought it would be a nice ad because they've never had kids under the basket, but they were trying to create an intimidated environment for the visiting schools. Feedback from the athletic directors are these little models that were put under there. This has created the most excitement they've ever seen from the student body, where they queue up in line hours before the event to ensure that they get to sit under the backboards in general seating for the school. So something that small, that unique has really been a great solution for them to create revenue, create excitement, and just build a high energy facility. One of the things we also did in this venue here, they were looking for us to integrate their scores table or press box, I should say. So we fabricated it, integrated it within the top of the bleacher. So again, we're always looking to use engineered solutions to meet or exceed the customer's demand and need in the marketplace. Branding team schools, different ways you can do it with embroidered backs. You can use emboss or deboss on plastic or polymer or upholstery. So again, this is done both in indoor and outdoor applications, but really gives a fine looking finished product within these spaces. ADA integration, this you typically see in a gymnasium, college, university, or K-12. The ability to, again, either use the entire front row open. You can see when the unit's closed, and then you can use the front row in the open position. This prevents kids from climbing to the top of the unit, or you can do any lock-in layout position of the ADA combination, whether you need to integrate a team bench or scores table, or just ADA spaces, or 1 wheelchair, 2 wheelchairs, multiple wheelchairs within a space. So it gives you full configuration regarding that front row. Design continuity. This used to be I'd say more relevant in the past, but you still see it where they want the same style seating from the hockey dasher all the way up to the general seating, with the exception of the suites or the clubs. So this is United Center from the hockey, basketball. Again, they've carried the quattro chair range the entire way up the venue. So they believe that was the right solution for them and provided a truly unique experience in this venue, no matter where you buy a ticket to watch an event. This here is just a quick conversion showing dual rise and low rise telescopic systems. So this is what's called a reversible telescopic platform. You see they're closing these units up, then they'll draw them out. And on the opposite side of the system is the next rise. So they closed it as a hockey rise. So the first row was down at the bottom side of the dasher. As they rotate these around and open it up, it will then go to the top of the hockey dasher. And then on the front side, they'll be rolling in these things called forward tilt. And what it is, a low-rise application that, again, has that same chair. So you have the same seat throughout the entire venue and provides a quick conversion and turns it from hockey to basketball. And they do it just around the 2-hour mark based on their team of skilled conversion team that they use out there. We'll take a look at differentiated fan experience and seating areas. Here you can see this one here is it's called the Lexus Club. This is a Bridgestone Arena. This has access to the underside of where the players basically come onto the field, and there's this club's under the system itself. And this is definitely one of the, I'd say, the latest trends that you're seeing. There's all these different private clubs, specialized seating for them, whether it's all fully enveloped seats here, like on the top left, like Climate Pledge Arena, or you can see these upholstered seats with drink rails. So giving everyone something a little different than what was expected in the past, and the ability to really customize your ability to find the right seating experience when you enjoy a game or an event. Here at the Raiders, this is again is another trend we're seeing. Club areas are going, they're basically losing seats, but going with upscale seats, flat screen monitors, more private, customized areas. So they're giving away capacity for increased comfort and style. And this is definitely, I'd say, the trend out there in the marketplace that everyone is doing out there. Differentiated fan experience, just sitting in a suite. Again, you can have a high-end suite with top-of-the-line chairs, or just, again, something a little less, more subtle with individual chairs, drink tables between, or sitting behind a glass like the big, large picture on the bottom or the right side, Studio City in Macau. So again, differentiated seating to give that different experience no matter where you are in the venue, what you may like. Now, one of the, I'd say, the more current trends that we're seeing is getting rid of seating and creating open spacing. For a seating company, it's not what we want to hear, but yet what it does is create a lot of excitement and energy. I don't know if this is driven more by social media and influencers that want to be seen. So they're giving you all these different avenues to be in an event by standing room only ticket and or a specialized seat, like you can see down there at Jacksonville, the gentleman on the right. And but again, it's different than what was done in the past. This is definitely a trend that's moving forward. A lot more private clubs, customized clubs that you can watch the game from different areas of the venue versus sitting in your own individualized seat the entire event. And I say that, but yet there's also other new arenas that are opening up that they're driving you and they want you to stay in your seat and interact with the engagement of technology within the venue and watch what's on the floor, watch the athletes and what's there. Bunker suites or field suites, again, another new, I'd say, a more current trend. It's been happened in the past, but it seemed to have come back now, and it is reestablishing itself as a high energy areas, creating again I'd say an experience that is like no other at an event. You get to have as much fun with your friends watching the event or not watching the event and being seen on TV, whatever your real goal may be there. But yet it's a different experience than what we've seen in the past, creating specialized seating areas within a venue. Other trends, in-seat beverage and food and merchandise services, whether it's done by an app, QR code, NFC for, tap to order controls. That's all being done now in the marketplace. The other thing that is kind of I'd say the current trend in large scale venues is more of a theatrical effect, going more to the black and or graphite kind of look and feel, really highlighting the playing surface where the action is and drawing your attention there. And then to the technology and the great screens that are integrated around the entire facility, from the ribbon boards to the scoreboards up above. We talked about giving up seats, fewer seats for larger seats. Here you can see this row to the left, these purple rows. This is High Point University. Again, giving up capacity for comfort and style. And that's something that you're seeing at more and more venues, again, as we've referenced. And that's everything from high school gymnasium, moving it up to seats with backrests instead of just bench seating, and then these larger style venues. Flow code, they've pushed the market really of using QR codes for interaction with the athletes, as well as NFC technology for, again, to tap information, tap to connect to something. And ultimately what they're doing is the driving connectivity, driving data back to the arena, back to the teams, understanding their customer base more. So it's something that I think everyone has become accustomed to. No one thinks twice about it now, and yet it's becoming more ingrained. From even watching commercials on TV, you see the flow code logo as well as just basic QR codes. And it is something that you've seen integrated into seating in venues, and that's being done now out there in the marketplace. The other part is branding, whether it's branding on an individual graphic on the back or on a cup holder. You can see that there's branding capabilities, which means revenue. There's different ways you can do it with, you can see there's a sticker on this Pepsi cup holder here. These other ones, a little difficult to see on the left one, but this is a kind of a Lexan style graphic. that's captured in there. So it gives you, again, the ability to change out graphics, increase revenue from advertisements at a touch point level. And they can also integrate QR codes and NFCs as well. Integrated technologies, basically in-seat charging, seeing this more and more on job opportunities, whether it's typically you're seeing USB Type-C connections. We could do Type-A, Type-C, or duplex power as well. So this is something that we believe we'll see more and more in the marketplace, as batteries seem to always be the weakness of the technology out there. Integrative technology, motion, vibration, sound, the sphere is not our project, but yet it's definitely a venue to follow from the layout, the design. I don't know if people just saw the UFC match there, the first sporting event within this kind of venue. And there's been, I'd say, good reviews on it. And it's something that as a company we follow. So we're following this trend, see where it goes, see what needs to be accomplished in innovation within our market segment. This is a technology that's been growing. It's been done a lot in the international market segment, and you're starting to see it here in the States, but basically integrating LED light systems within the seating bowl itself and basically leveraging it and creating a large LED screen. This is new technology, but it is being used now in the marketplace, typically in the international market segment. There are a handful of venues here that are getting into it now. So definitely a trend that I think will take hold here in the North American market segment. So as we look at the seating process for success, as a company, we have local dealers and direct sales teams that work out there in the marketplace. The education and collaboration, that's all the due diligence we spoke about up front. Then we'll talk about some engineer design solutions, product and process, how we do it right, as well as high quality manufacturing, safe and reliable products, specific certifications and partnerships that we have under our belt to, again, help guide us in the right direction. And we'll go back and touch on the telescopic understructure, and you'll get to see a video on why it's that important to be cognizant of what you are putting in the marketplace or in your venue. Then we'll talk about professional project management, certified installation teams, and operation training. And ultimately, at the end of the time, just as we started with this local dealer and direct sales team, we close out with this regionalized service centers to make sure that you have someone in your community close to your venue that can take care of you for the life of the building. And ultimately, at the end of the life of the building or the product, is that it comes back. It's built for deconstruction and recycling. So the local exclusive dealer team you can see where we have the North American market segment as well as the international market covered. But this presentation, I was just really focusing on North American market segment. We have a professional sales consultancy team that will go out there with engineer-based focus, talking about solutions, looking at all that due diligence, talking about, again, the observations and questions that they ask out there in the marketplace. And that is a key part of what we believe helps us lead the market. We have the ability, and internally, we have a large engineering team here from sustainability, innovation, application engineering. We have every facet covered. And we don't shy away from, again, understanding our customers' demand and need and building a solution for them that may not be telescopic. As you can see here on the left side, we created this entire fixed structured vomitory system so they can get into the locker rooms, provide access for players. And those is, some of the solutions we've had. Other solutions we had at venues, they were concerned about storage areas, storage space, removable rails. Where do they store? Where do they live? How do I find them? So we created a new rail system that rotates 90 degrees. So it never has to go into storage. It always stays with the unit. Again, based on an engineered solution for a customer's request to help them improve their efficiencies. This image on the left, again, this is an engineered solution. This is that fixed open bleacher that I referenced to you. This is open air structured underneath, but also what you can see is we've created this ADA platform out of our structure, and this is versus them doing it with a cantilevered concrete base to it. Really save them money on their construction costs, help expedite the build of this venue part of it, and did it with, again, steel structures and telescopic componentry. We also have the ability, based on our engineering and manufacturing capabilities, to do rails that are surfaced or mounted to concrete. So again, if you want to keep common rail designs from telescopic to fixed seating, we have those abilities in our engineering capabilities. One thing we did here, this was a customer's request. This was their existing venue that had 2,000 seats in it. They came to us, said, well, we have a problem. We want 5,000 seats in it. So our design teams went to work understanding the building, the layout, what they're looking to achieve. And we had a layout that was able to create and match their need. And then what we do is 2D design, but then we follow up with a 3D visualization and fly through. So the customer gets to see firsthand, what are we talking about? What is there? It eliminates or minimizes any opportunity for misunderstanding and gives them, again, real insight as to, wow, this is what our building could look like. This is what, we want, and this is what we expect in this space. And they can help use it for fundraising, gaining approvals in the process. And again, a great way for us to communicate with the architects, the owners, general contractors, as what the venue is going to look like. Sorry about that. My computer wants to hold up for a second. This one here, again, is just kind of showing some additional capabilities that we have. And it doesn't necessarily need to be a large venue. Basically, if there's some kind of complexity to it that we're trying to communicate to the customer, we bring it into our Revit modeling to make sure that we have the right storage capacity, we have the right egress requirements. Visually, we're looking at what we believe the customer wants. If there's media tables and platforms involved, where do they live? How do we integrate it in it? And how do we best communicate it? So we're constantly using Revit as a communication tool, a visual communication tool, to ensure our customer base knows what they're getting. And again, this has been a great tool to help promote the use of our product and our engineering capabilities. So I'd say if you're working with people that aren't providing you this kind of level of engineering support, I would ask for it, and hopefully you ask us for it, because it's something we do every day. If we are working large scale buildings, what we will do after, again, we go out, observe the changeovers, whatever the processes are, we'll go in and do a complete 3D laser scan of the building. This will help us during our manufacturing and design to ensure that all the dimensional checks are proper. So if we may have missed something during a field check, we can go into the 3D model, and this gives us accurate dimension capabilities for opening clearances, pipe locations, whatever it may be in critical areas. But this is technology that we use on our larger scale buildings. Talked about certifications and quality standards, I would say. All of our welders, whether you're on a robotic welder or you're a hand welder, we're all certified by the American Welding Society as well as the Canadian Welding Bureau. We follow an EN 1090 certification. It's a European quality certification, and that's what we've chosen to use within our manufacturing and office capabilities. One of our latest additions here has been based on the ICC building code. We do the ICC ESR. This is evaluation service provided by ICC, and this is specific to structural loading of, based on ours, is telescopic seating. So they go through and validate independently that our design meets the design load requirements of the building code. In the past, there was never that responsibility other than a supplier saying, yes, we meet that, without having to prove that. So we've gone through and have taken the extra step to prove that we meet that loading and go through this evaluation service process on an annual basis to keep us in check and make sure nothing has changed in our processes, as well as to, I'd say, level the playing field and make sure that what you're getting out there in the marketplace is suitable and safe. And ultimately, again, safety is a key consideration of what we do, meaning that telescopic seating, and really that's where that focus part is the safety of patrons that are, elevated up in the air by a steel structure that opens and closes. So this is something that we feel is valid, and you should be able to ask anyone that provides telescopic seating At minimum, that they go through this evaluation process. At minimum, all the welders are certified by both the either American or Canadian welding or both. And then the other part we're seeing is there's players in the marketplace that are competing without proper insurance. And again, it's a cost of doing business. It should be a cost for everyone in doing business. And this is something that we would encourage you to understand. What is the different levels of insurance people are carrying out there in the marketplace on any of the projects you may be working on. This one is blurred intentionally. This is our professional project management team and how we go through at time of when we're doing conceptual design work and really start at that point, communicating with the customer for milestones, lead times, critical path of the project. And ultimately, our goal is we take projects we can achieve the delivery date. And this is how we prove it out. We prove it to ourselves first. And then again, going back to our core values is, work with honesty and integrity. So if we tell you we're going to be there, our goal and intent is to be there. If we know we cannot be there as a company, we will not take that order. And this is how we go about it in that professional project management, which ties into our manufacturing processes here as well. So we take this very seriously and want to be the best professional project management team in our industry. And upon that, once the product gets to site, we have certified and factory trained installation teams, whether it's from telescopics or fixed seating, and they travel the world. Our dealers have it on the local level, and again, it's solutions. It's the last touch point before it goes to you, the customer. These are kits of parts that are built on site for the most part. Some of the larger jobs now are doing pre-assembly, and depending again on that, is the building dark or is it light? Or is it working around schedules and based on how do you improve installation time? So there's different strategies how you do that. And again, from our project management to our installation teams, we achieve that by different facets of business. I hit on this earlier. We talked about our dealer team and sales teams, meaning local exclusive dealers in all states and territories, as well as our direct sales team. So we're out there blanketing our marketplace. And at the back end of the order, we have local regional service centers that will be there for you for your installation, your inspections, maintenance, parts, service, and again, at end of life, that deconstruction and recycling of the product. So we really believe that it's a full life cycle management is what, again, is an important part and just not selling seating. The one thing that we normally haven't spoke about in the past, but one thing I want to just hit on here before we get to the end is purchasing power. If you're, again, government agency, education, you have the ability to make purchasing off of procurement contracts. One of ours that has all of our portfolios is Sourcewell in the Canadian marketplace is known as Canoe. And our entire product portfolio is available on that. And then we'll touch on NCL for a second. But if you're any one of these customer base or target audience, you have the right and the ability to purchase off of this. And if you have any questions regarding that, we can work with you and get you connected with our contract administrators or legal team at Sourcewell to help you understand it better, as we're just really touching on the highlights of this. What the bid process is, it goes out as a traditional bid. They spec out equipment, goes completely through the process, but basically Sourcewell does components for you and basically allows you to then purchase product directly off a contract. And it doesn't need to be Sourcewell, it can be any procurement contract, but this is the one that has our entire portfolio and the one that we tend to position for success for both our customers. And ultimately what you end up doing is saving time, saving resources at your end, and getting a quicker installation and delivery of the product. So ultimately, you would work directly we will work directly with Sourcewell, and you would become a connection through registration if you're not a member already. And if you have any questions, we can let you know if you or your venue is a member. And then we work directly with you. Again, educate you, go through the collaboration process, and get the right solution for you. We can jump over now to NCL. So there's a new leasing solution that we can offer. It's based on non-appropriated funds that schools governments or schools have available to them. that they could maximize their purchasing power. And in the way the stats work, it's up to 7 times purchasing power by going into lease agreements. And this is something that is new to us as a company. We're seeing growth in it. We're seeing opportunities within it, and just wanted to make everyone aware that that is an option here, that we can provide a proposal that gives you leasing costs. And if you want to look at a 5, 7, 10-year lease, or a 3, 5, 7, whatever it may be, we have the ability to provide a proposal to see that. As we're getting ready to close out here, just looking at the understructure, telescopics. If you have a venue that has a student body or fan base that is aggressive on a game basis. So these 2 videos, the one on the left is real-time students jumping. The right side is synced up to it, showing you what an understructure does. And again, we're proud to say we've never had a catastrophic failure. And we believe it's based on having those positive lower interlocks, upper interlocks, tier catches. And this is where we talk about that independent certification. This is what's keen to ensure that we all sleep good at night, knowing that this system can go through this kind of rigor in the marketplace. So this brings us really towards the end of the presentation. I spoke earlier, I just wanted to touch on, this was based on a populous website. They were getting ready to launch it. They had this question out there: what draws people together? This is what I threw out there in 2009. But it is about having venues, going to venues, seeing events, creating experiences real time. Ultimately, we're creating memories, and that we can tell lifelong stories with it. So as we close out, we'd like to thank you from Hussey Seating. This information will go out to you. This is access to all of our brochures if you like it. Again, stay tuned. If you connect, there's a QR code at the end you can click on. It will get you information that you can understand when we release our Chromatic products and what timing that is. And I would just say again, as no matter who you're working with in the marketplace, you should expect safe bleachers, things that are solutions for enhanced comfort, enhanced abilities to upgrade seat, graphic packages. Ultimately, I would encourage you to look for a company with an unblemished safety record. We offer 10-year factory-back warranties on telescopics, and again, have the ability to work with you for the entire life of the product through inspections and maintenance. That local dealer network out there and our direct sales team, everything from 2D and 3D designs. So when we talk engineering, it's this entire package. It's this entire engineered package, and just not about an engineered product solution is what we're bringing to the marketplace. So in closing out, there is a graphic there, but I'd just like to say thank you. And the graphic decided not to come up, but thank you very much for taking time today and spending it with us here at the Athletic Business webinar. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ron. If we have time, there's just a couple of questions we could squeeze in here.
All right.
How does Hussey Seating help architects and facility managers choose the best seating solution for unique venue requirements?
Yeah, I would say it goes back to the whole part of our due diligence and understanding really what are they looking for. And ultimately we would, from our experience, again, taking a look at all those questions that we looked at, from what type market, what type product, what's the vision, what are the buying drivers that they're using to make a decision. And again, if it's, price driven or conversion time driven, it puts us into a different guide path to get the right product for that venue to meet their needs. And so again, it's not one product, but it's about the entire solution is how we would package that to both architects and owners.
Fantastic. And just one more for you here before we wrap up. With the rise of smart technology, are there any plans for integrating technology into seating solutions for better user experiences or management?
I would say yes, there is. I believe across the entire industry, technology, as with any part of our life, is getting deeper and deeper into what we do every day. So yeah, there's things that are being worked on. I'm just trying to walk a fine line is what I can say and not say. But yes, I believe technology will definitely be part of seating solutions moving forward. And that may be everything from, we have wireless controllers for our power systems. There's different levels of technology, and we have wireless steerable power that you can operate a platform, and then simple things with NFCs for touch to tap to get into order or identify things within, if you're trying to buy merchandise or food within your seat. So I think we will definitely see more technology moving forward.
Thank you. And then we just had one more come in the chat. So real quick, do you have SketchUp model components of your systems you can send to architects?
That's a good question. I know we have Revit. I don't know personally. It's something I'll have to get back to you on. I don't know if our Revit can be worked on within SketchUp, but I will get that answer back to Eric, and we'll get that response out to everyone.
Thank you, Ron. So it looks like that is all the questions we have for today. As Ron said, for everybody in the audience, there should be email going around with reference sheets and contact information if you do have any follow-up questions. Thank you, Ron, for your time and for giving this presentation today, and for all of Hussey Seating.
Thank you. And we enjoy being part of this. So thank you very much.